So in the previous video, part 2 of the revenue model, we defined our short-term, mid-term, and long-term revenue streams, as well as attached a price point to them. In part 3, in this video, we now want to see a best case, most likely, and worst case scenario for our revenue for the company. So there's various ways you can go about doing this, and at the end of the day, it's all a guesstimation. And when we're first developing our business model, we just want to get a ballpark idea, so it doesn't have to be an exact science. We're going to come back to some things, and we're going to validate revenue streams, and we're going to validate price points, and we're going to validate market demand. So right now, just doing a ballpark is fine. One way to do a best, worst, and most likely case ballpark is just take one variable, one of your key variables, and adjust that variable while keeping everything else the same. In this way, it doesn't get too complicated. So the variable that I'm going to adjust is how many people visit our site each month. And actually, I adjusted two variables. How many people are coming to Google and searching for things that would bring our site up, and of those people searching, the conversion rate. So this is going to be the basis for my worst case revenue scenario, most likely, and best case. So I created this Excel sheet. In this Excel sheet, I list the revenue streams that we just went over, and then I list the average commissions, which more or less we broke out for each revenue stream in the last video. And for that commission, what the average ticket price is going to be, and that gives me my average revenue from a customer that uses that service. And then not everybody that comes to my website is going to use every single service. So for each service, I ballparked a conversion rate. And this, in the end, gives me my most likely revenue. I can see in the short term, I total everything up, and I see that short term, that means about 6 months to a year from now, I can expect to make about $340, and this primarily comes from my affiliate schemes as well as my travel agent service partner. We're not talking cuckoo bucks here, but let's see what this turns into when we look at the midterm scheme. When we add restaurants, Airbnbs, and this with local model, plus a little bit of income from e-commerce, it looks like we make another additional $825. So a total is, I can expect this to make roughly $1,000 a month in revenue. So we're not talking about $1 million idea right off the bat by any means. Now let's see what the best case revenue and worst case. Just to keep it simple, I simply used a multiple. So 150, that's 2 times my 75 visits, and 30 visits, that's 40% of my 75 visits. So best case short term comes out to $673, worst case $135, and my total, I will make $1,000 off this most likely. I'll make $2,000 if everything goes really well for me. And if things really don't go well and I'm not able to establish some of the demand and revenue streams that I would like, I'm probably going to only make about $400 a month from all this effort. So that pretty much completes part 3. We had our revenue streams defined, and then we created a most likely, best case, and worst case variable. In this case, it was how many people came to our website. And at the end, we established the best, worst, and most likely case for how much money we're going to make a month. That's not a ton of money, and we haven't even factored in what our expenses are. So we don't know if this is worth it or not. What we need to do next is complete another element of the business model, and this is key activities. And key activities is going to help us estimate what our key costs are. And based on those costs, I'll compare them to the revenue model, and I'll say, Does this opportunity really make sense, and is it worth my time and energy to make X amount of dollars a month?